All right.
Let me just...
Yeah, we'll get set here, and I see the clock, but I don't see us.
Oh,
there we are.
There we are.
We're live. Guess what just happened?
Oh my
Dude.
goodness.
This is gonna be. I don't even know what to
I'm
even say yet, but the last time
Speechless.
we did a post-game show of this magnitude was on the other end, where the Phillies had lost to the Mets, and we had a bunch of people join that one to laugh at us. This time we're hoping a bunch of Eagles fans get in here
Are
to
you
celebrate
kidding
with
me?
us.
Are you kidding me?
Just a crazy Super Bowl.
domination.
So fun.
Just straight domination.
Which is
by
what
the
they've
Eagles.
done pretty much all year. Congratulations to Luke for picking the Super Bowl
Yes.
exactly right
Luke,
at the beginning of the year.
congratulations,
Way to
Luke.
go.
He had Eagles versus Chiefs way back before the season even started.
Yeah.
Crazy, Luke. Crazy.
Yeah.
How'd you know it was gonna happen?
I mean, guys, they're the Philadelphia Eagles. That's all I gotta say.
Oh man.
Did I know that we were gonna win it this dominantly? Did I think that half the team that did it was gonna do it the way they did it? No, not at all. But I'm just gonna pin this comment really quickly.
I was gonna, yeah.
I'll pin that one.
I
for
was
us.
working on
There
that
we go.
here, but
Yeah.
shout out to Jose. He was there with us for the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Let's
I just absolutely crazy. Yeah, it's unbelievable. That team is a special team.
and Owen at the beginning of the year. Give us your take, Owen. What did you say at the beginning of the year?
I said I think this will be the greatest Eagles team of all time. And
And
I think
they
they
win.
were.
I
they
think
were.
they were.
Best offense, best defense, like
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous. Just ridiculous how good the Eagles were this entire season. To cap it off with an 18-point victory, which was easily just like a 30-point victory. It just 2 garbage time touchdowns.
Mhm.
But
mhm.
complete domination in the Super Bowl. Like the defensive line. Like, can we just talk about the defensive line for a second?
They went ham.
Yeah.
That was insane. How many sacks do they have? 6 sacks? Is that what the total ended up being?
6 sacks
think,
on
yeah.
0 blitzes, which
Yeah.
is
No
crazy.
That's
And
insane.
that's been the recipe. That's exactly what the Bucks did. They didn't blitz at all. They just got pressure with 4. This is
Mhm.
absolutely insane. And they just kept collapsing the pocket.
Yep.
Like Sweat, Milton Williams. And then you had Jalen Carter mucking it up in the middle.
Yep.
Mhm.
Mhm.
They just
No
collapsed
holes.
the pocket.
No
Yep.
holes.
There was nowhere for him to go. He
Yeah.
would scramble and he couldn't get outside and they would get
Rick
his they would
Wall,
get to
Jordan
him.
Davis just would not let them penetrate anything.
They
And
had
the secondary locked it up like normal, so you couldn't throw anywhere.
yeah, and
Just completely dominant.
they had
Josh Sweat,
40
crazy game for him.
49 rush yards.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Isaiah Pacheco had 9, Kareem Hunt had 8
Yeah.
rush yards.
Mahomes had way more than that.
Yeah, Mahomes had 25 and Samaje Perine had 6. That's it.
Ridiculous.
That's the only rush yards they had. And then other than just some of the garbage time long bombs that Mahomes threw,
Yeah.
like they didn't get anything through the air.
No.
Like it was complete domination
They
from
didn't,
the
they
defense.
didn't hit that air raid till the fourth quarter. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
And one was
They
against our
could-
backup.
exactly. They couldn't do that in regular time against this defense.
And like, okay, are we just gonna? We have to talk about those 2 interceptions.
Yes.
Cooper DeJean on his birthday,
Pick 6.
rookie
Oh
pick
my
6
gosh.
on your birthday in the
Doesn't
Super
get
Bowl.
better.
Are you
First
kidding me?
NFL,
Yeah.
first career
First career
NFL
pick.
interception. It's a pick 6 in the Super
Oh my
Bowl.
goodness! I can't believe it. That
Yeah,
play was
yeah.
absolutely insane.
We can leave that up a little longer so they can.
And
Yeah.
then Zach Bond. Okay, the other pick.
Incredible.
How did he make that
Just
catch?
Superman
Crazy.
diving.
There was
like,
2 instances where Travis Kelsey could have made that catch and he didn't do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and Zach Bond gets
Yeah.
his hands underneath it.
Yeah.
Sweat gets the pressure, gets to Mahomes on that play, forces that bad throw,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're set up for another easy AJ Brown touchdown. That's when you knew that this game was going
The
the
Chiefs,
Eagles' way.
the
Yes.
Chiefs looked way too comfortable coming into this game. They were like, and we had talked about that. The Eagles looked hungry. They looked locked in all
so
over.
They looked
locked in,
so
dude.
locked in.
They were all
They
walking down the
were.
tunnel, same expression on their
Yep.
faces, all nodding
They
their
were.
heads.
The
It was
Chiefs-
crazy.
The Chiefs looked comfortable, and yes, I know they've been there before, but they let that get the best of them for sure.
It's crazy to see Andy Reid and Spagnolia like mind boggled. Like they didn't know what to do.
They were
freaking out on the sideline.
They just couldn't figure it out.
They couldn't figure anything out. It was literally crazy. Nothing was going right. Every time it felt like the Eagles were stopped, there was like some sort of penalty. Like they got helped out like 3 different times on legit penalties.
We were worried after the first play, the first drive, where AJ
Brown
had the question. But after that,
PI,
Eagles are still undefeated with Ron Torbert as the head ref.
We called that at the beginning. We were like, hey, they're undefeated with this guy as the head ref. And there's those ref stats, man, they tell you a lot about the game. They really do, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of that AJ Brown call, it was a relatively fair called game, in my opinion.
There wasn't a lot of controversy, which was nice.
Yeah.
No, and it got so out of hand, meaning like the Eagles just went up. You go up 3 or 4 scores. It's like
those calls that you might be like, wow, that call means a lot. It just doesn't mean
as much because the game is so out of hand already.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. Okay, where does this rank in days all time?
We circle back to this from the pregame show.
Because we had said pregame.
Well, considering I haven't had kids or gotten married yet, it's pretty high.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
In your life so far.
For us, like, where does this day rank in your all-time days, like, ever?
Honestly, this might be number 1. I was thinking about this at the end of the game. I was like, do I have a better 24 hours? Like 24 hours ago, we hit 1,000 subscribers.
Right.
And then the Eagles won the Super Bowl, and all 3 of us were together for the first time during it.
Yeah. That's pretty great.
I'm having a hard time thinking of a better day.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Pretty darn great.
I honestly can't really think of one. I mean, beaches are fun. Going to the beach is fun, but like,
I know, getting into med school is pretty cool.
Watching the Eagles,
That's a good one.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
But like, is it as fun as watching the Eagles win the Super Bowl?
I mean, it kind
Like
of
more
sets the
important,
tone of my
sure,
life,
but like fun.
It's more important, but like, is it more fun?
Fun. Importance
It's a
versus
pretty big
fun is like a
accomplishment,
scale.
guys.
It is.
It's okay. You can put that 1 and put Eagles too.
It's a very close 1 and 2.
Yeah. And again, we're younger, so we don't have quite the same like huge moments. But
I
like,
mean, I'll get married eventually, and that'll get like pushed in.
Yes,
That'll probably
I'll
be
have
second.
kids.
So
Right.
I'll have kids. That'll get in there. It'll slowly.
That'll probably be 4th, 5th, depending how many kids. That'll be 6th.
yeah.
That's a lot of kids.
I mean, you never know.
You never know.
Never know.
But you know what I do know? I do know that the Eagles just absolutely smoked the Chiefs, and we are going to remember this day forever.
Embarrass the Chiefs. Embarrass Patrick Mahomes. Embarrass Travis Kelce.
That's another thing I was thinking about. Of like the first one was great. Like you took down the Patriots dynasty, Tom Brady, to win your first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This one, that one was like more important because it was the first one,
and there was a lot of
Brady.
There was a lot of like your MVP caliber quarterback gets injured. Your roster is good. I mean, you look at the 2 offenses and compare them, and it's Nick Foles, Alshon Jeffrey,
LeGarrette Blount
versus Saquon Barkley, who has a historic season, Jalen Hurts, who is, after this game, a proven great quarterback, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, like
just loaded
offense.
That first one was more important.
The fourth one,
this one was more fun.
The first one was more iconic.
Yes,
way more iconic.
Yeah,
and they had those dog masks. But this one was so fun.
This one was just.
I mean, this entire team. They were saying it in the post game. Nick Sirianni was saying it. But this team loves each other.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely loves each other, and you could see it the entire season. And in this game, they did not want it to end.
If this team sticks together, I think they're going to do some damage next year.
They have to re-sign Zach Bond. Zach Bond,
priority number 1.
Sign Bond.
The entire year, he's by far their leading tackler. He controls the middle. Have the Eagles ever had a linebacker have this good of a season? Like, this is literally the best linebacker season
I think so, yeah.
that I've ever seen for an Eagles
since
player.
like in the 50s and 60s. With like when linebackers were the stars of the defense, but in the modern era, no.
He caps, and this is so important for Vic Fangio's defense, and then he caps it off with that insane interception.
Yep.
Like when that happened, and then AJ
what a way
scored
to cap off the season for him.
Oh my gosh! And then we haven't even gotten into the third quarter yet, when
That's just the first half, guys.
First down. You think they're gonna play conservative with a rush to Saquon?
Nope.
Just
Devontae strike over the top, absolute dime. And like they were just coming out firing, like they knew when to take shots. It felt like they dictated the game, which you never see against Andy Reid. Like you never see a team.
The Eagles controlled every aspect of that game, offensive, defensive. They controlled every aspect, every minute of that game. The Eagles were in control, and that's uncomfortable for Andy. That's uncomfortable for Patrick. And that's just what the Eagles did. They controlled it.
Yeah, it was. They started out at the very beginning of the game with a like a punt. They started out with a punt, but then the defense did what they did all game, and they forced a punt. And so that just set the tone from the defense. And then once the Eagles were able to punch it in, it's like on that Jahan Dotson 27-yard catch, they get them down to the 1 yard line.
I forgot about all Jahan's stuff that happened in the very first
Jahan had 2 catches that were very, very important. Absolutely crazy. Jalen Hurts with the touch push, and then from there it just set the tone. It was like, man, Jalen is on one because he had that throw to AJ Brown that got called back early. That was the very first drive. And
that was a great throw.
And you could tell like he was locked in from the jump. He only had one. He had 2 bad passes that I can remember. He had one that just went a little bit high, and then the other one that was the interception.
And the high one was off of Johnny Wilson's hands too. Like I bet a good receiver may have made a play on
well,
that.
that one I was referring to. I was referring to the Dallas one. The one to Johnny, he should have.
A couple of miscues. He took one bad sack.
Mahomes
bad
took
pick.
6 of them.
That was it.
I think my favorite part about that bad pick on the blitz was, I mean, we obviously knew Spagnuolo was going to blitz a lot. That's just how he runs his defense. And we were like, all right, Jalen, how are we going to do against the blitz? The first time it comes, that's what he does. A little bit of nerves. And then Jalen said, don't worry, I got this. And then proved to us that he had it.
Oh, my goodness.
He was all over the blitz the rest of the game. It just didn't matter.
There was so much discourse throughout the beginning of the season, all the way through the year, about Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Like, man, what's going on with this
doubted team? Every second of the way.
Every single step of the win that the Eagles had, everybody was like,
good enough.
Oh, this team, everybody was hating on them. Everybody was hating on Jalen Hurts too. Everybody was like, what's this quarterback? He can't take him in the playoffs. He only has 120, passing yards. It's like they're just hating on him. But sometimes this guy has won his entire career. Jalen Hurts
is a winner.
He's a winner through high school, college, NFL. He just wins games.
And the best part about it is how humble he is in it, because he doesn't care how it gets done. He's not out there saying, I need to have the best stats in this for it to be a good game for us. He says, if we're winning, we're winning. And he's just a winner.
He got benched at Alabama and took it fine. Jalen,
you
never see that.
Has cemented himself in Eagles' legacy from this game.
Absolutely.
From this game,
100%.
He cemented himself. And my question for you guys is he the greatest Eagles quarterback? Is he the greatest?
Great question.
Nick Foles.
Yeah, but Nick Foles is more of like a peak thing.
Right. Yeah. Is Jalen Hurts the greatest Eagles quarterback?
Donovan McNabb probably has him.
I would
from like overall longevity play, but he never won a Super Bowl. And that's super important.
And Jalen, how many games has he won over the course of his last 4 years?
I mean, in Donovan's defense, this Eagles defense is unimaginably better than the 04 Eagles defense.
But they didn't win a Super Bowl. They did not win a Super Bowl.
And I'm not discounting what Jalen did today.
That's a really tough
had
question.
A crazy good game.
He's been electric in his 2 Super Bowls that he's played.
Crazy good game.
2 great games.
Jalen wins games.
Today's defense is also like, I mean, if you don't give the MVP to Jalen, you give the MVP to the entire defense today. Because today's defense is half the reason we won today's game.
And Jalen made some huge plays. That third quarter with his legs.
Yeah.
He had some insane third down rushes.
I think it's also really hard for us to make this judgment call because none of us outright watched Donovan play.
Yeah.
None of us watched Donovan McNabb play. Yeah. So it's really hard for us to compare them.
Just some food for thought. Jalen Hurts' stats through the game: 17 for 22, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, And then on the ground, he also had another touchdown. So 3 total touchdowns.
Yeah.
Only took 2 sacks for 11 yards. 120 basically passer rating.
Yeah.
He didn't make mistakes. Okay. He had the 1 interception.
72.
72 rushing yards.
Quarterback record, which I think he set the record
Yeah, he
in
said
the last
Super Bowl he had 70.
Yeah,
he reset it today.
293 total all-purpose yards.
And in his 2 Super Bowls, he has 525 passing yards, 142 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns.
he shows up.
It's crazy.
He shows up, man.
Jalen is the moment.
He answered every question he has for me. All right, even if he has some down games next season and in the coming seasons,
he's earned himself some leeway.
Every quarterback is going to have their down moments.
Yeah.
It's just the way that it's the way the game goes.
And when you're looking at the quarterbacks in the NFL right now, you take Patrick Mahomes, but I wouldn't take anybody else. Would you really take Josh Allen not being able to get over the hump? Would you really take Joe Burrow? Would you really take Lamar Jackson? Jalen Hurts has beaten all of those guys head to head.
Yeah.
Every single time. Would you really take
the
one
Eagles
of those guys?
roster is loaded, so I understand that argument from people.
I think there's
none of those guys have won a
an
Super Bowl.
aspect to it. I think there's an aspect to it of statistically Joe Burrow is better. Statistically, these guys might be better, and skill-wise, they also might be better than Jalen.
They don't have that
but
mentality.
I think there's a point of it that there's a mentality. Do they win? Are they a leader? And I think that's another thing Jalen does great. I think he's just a great leader on that team.
Great point.
He's got a great mind. He is humble. I think there's a lot that Jalen does well.
And when Jalen,
that some of these other guys don't do quite as well.
He shows up. He shows up in big games. You can't say the same about Lamar, can you? No, you can't.
Can't say the same thing about Josh Allen.
Josh Allen hasn't been able to get over the hump. Joe Burrow got them to the Super Bowl, didn't get over the hump.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just the fact that Jalen got back to the Super Bowl is impressive, because before him, there was the streak in the whole 2000s of 18 or 19 quarterbacks, where it was the guy who lost the Super Bowl never gets back. And Jalen was on that list, but he broke the streak of losing the Super Bowl and not making it back. Yeah. And not only did he make it back, he won it.
Yeah. Honestly, Jalen has my complete trust.
Wow.
To see him, what he did in this
winning
game,
a Super Bowl should earn that, yeah.
He literally has my complete trust. I told you guys I needed to see him win a game against a tough blitz defense. I've been saying that all year.
Yep.
Bang, he did it.
He waited till the last game to do it.
That dime to Devontae is what set me over the edge.
It's a good thing he has your trust, because next year he's going to face an absolute gauntlet.
Yes.
Eagles have a tough
They have a tough
schedule
next year.
They'll be fine.
I mean,
and maybe they'll actually have some, they'll do good in the regular season against the gauntlet, and people will actually give them some respect going into the game, which honestly isn't. Maybe we don't want that.
We are totally fine being disrespected. We kind of like it.
That's kind of
we like it.
It's a good fuel for
it
us.
Is a really good fuel, but it's also Jalen Hurts will use this fuel being on top of the mountain. He'll want to get back. I guarantee you, Jalen's the type of guy. He's just a competitor, man.
Oh yeah, he's
if we look at Jalen, Jalen has that same Kobe mentality of just he's got the dog in him. He just wants to kill everybody.
And that's part of Nick Sirianni's draft and scouting, free agents and prospects process. When they brought him in, that's one of the things they do is they try to figure out how competitive a guy is.
Right.
By just with the questions they ask him, they play random mini games and stuff. They try to figure out who those competitive guys are.
And they figured it out.
If today's Eagles show up to every week next year, there is not a better team in the NFL.
Well, I mean, they just won the Super Bowl.
I know, but I don't.
That's a hot take.
I'm saying with what teams they're going to do in the offseason, I don't think there are any. I don't think there are enough moves teams can make to get to a point where they will be better.
The Eagles are probably going to need a new OC, but they're going to have Vic Fangio back.
Yeah.
And that defense, man, has been
defense is so young.
Insane. They're so young. The Eagles
crazy.
had the second
all they'd lose is
youngest
Slay.
team. Yeah.
And BG probably. BG should retire.
BG should
But
retire.
we also played
should go
half the season, our best part of the season without him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And guys, it wasn't
not saying he was striking us down, but
he deserves to ride off into the sunset.
And we have to. I think we'd be remiss. We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about Saquon. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
honestly,
literally,
lost in the shuffle.
He only had 57 yards. He didn't have a crazy day.
Is that his worst game of the year?
I think so.
Wow.
But it was so important for opening up the offense. Their one goal was to shut him down.
Shut down Saquon.
Which is perfectly fine.
Because that's what everybody said you had to do.
Yeah. And they still didn't shut him down as much as we shut down their entire run game. So
that's true. Saquon had more rush yards than their entire team.
And he was the worst part of our offense.
Yeah.
And that sums up how the Super Bowl went.
Yeah. But we have to talk about his season. He had probably, I would argue, I think it's not even arguable maybe, the greatest rushing season ever.
Yeah.
For running back.
Absolutely.
I mean, he broke all the records.
Greatest running back season ever.
Just absolutely insane. And he just, so many touchdowns that he, gave away to the tush push. Like, just absolutely insane season for him.
Yep.
I mean, also a bunch of selfless moments in there. That in that Rams game, going down, taking a knee or sliding in that one play, the Packers playoff game. Like,
even in the regular season,
he's
the Giants game.
Yeah.
He let the backups take it.
He's a team player and still had a successful season as he did. And he's a huge part of the reason we made it to the Super Bowl this year.
And team MVP for the season.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
100%.
And I'm so excited to see what he's going to do for us next year.
How many years do we have him sign? 3? I think it's 3.
Yeah, 3 years.
That's
better extend that.
We get 2 more years of Saquon minimum. And Saquon has also cemented himself. Like,
legend.
Are you kidding me? Like, you could not have done anything better in your first year as an Eagle.
Yeah.
Just what an absolute stud. I'm so happy for Saquon on his birthday. You knew Vegas wasn't going to let him score a touchdown, but there was a huge underrated aspect to those loaded boxes opening up the passing game. And Jalen Hurts is he's an amazing quarterback. You cannot argue that. And the entire year, everybody was saying that he wasn't an amazing quarterback. And all you had to do was stop Saquon, and the Eagles would suck because they can't do anything else in the passing game. That's not the case. You combine that with an elite defense. Where does this defense rank all time? Because I honestly think this is
pretty high.
I felt like this defense was absolutely insane the entire year. Like I feel like I haven't seen a better defense. I mean, you're gonna say what, the Baltimore Ravens back when they
technically
like the Seahawks defense back when they had the Legion of Boom, but I feel like this defense is just as good as those. It was absolutely insane.
It's definitely up there with some of the best defenses we've seen all time.
I can't believe how good they are, and in this modern era where they're playing so many solid teams, it's just insane that they're able to do this on a weekly basis.
I think one of the hardest or one of the biggest arguments against them being one of the best all time is we didn't really face a ton of great teams this year. Like
the Commanders' offense was really good.
Offense was good. The Bengals
offense, obviously.
Bengals offense was really good. We faced them. Ravens, obviously.
Ravens, Chiefs, Packers twice, Rams twice. Like, those are good offenses.
Yeah, they're good offenses, and so I don't think it's I don't know. I think it's hard when. Yeah, we said, the Commanders have a good offense, but when you face the Giants twice and the Cowboys twice, you face the Panthers and the Jaguars. Yeah, it's also,
I think you can make a case for it being a top 10 greatest defense of all time.
For
top 5 would get iffy because there's some
especially
crazy lockdown defenses.
Yeah,
but you can make a case for top 10 with how
especially
consistently
when you get into
they were.
The 60s, 70s, 80s, just back in the day.
Yeah,
for a modern defense, though, Fangio's got the unit.
It's them and the Legion of Boom in
got the defense
2000s. Yeah, like the crazy defense.
The D line, man, Sweat. What a game!
I love how in this game the people that we didn't expect necessarily to step up
Milton Williams.
Like, it went against
Alex Hunt had
we normally had happen. Yeah, the offense, you would think Saquon's our biggest strength. He, like we said, didn't do a ton. Defense, our biggest strength. The secondary. And then even after that, our linebackers. Like, the defensive line is the third thing that we would think about. Obviously, the secondary was great, but the defensive line was the main story. Yeah. And so it was the exact opposite of what we expected.
Of the defensive line, Jalen Carter is number one guy, and you see Milton Williams.
It was all the other guys.
Sweat.
The game plan.
It's because it's because those guys that we expected to be the best, the Chiefs also expected it. Yeah. And that's where they put their focus, and that's why the other guys shined.
And you could see the depth in the Eagles roster.
Yep.
They were just pound for pound, man for man, better in every spot.
Which we knew coming into this.
Yeah, we knew that. Yeah. And we said that, okay, maybe the only things that they have us beat in is coaching and that was it. Like just
kicking
and coaching and kicking.
And shout out Jake Elliott.
Jake Elliott, man, and Jake Elliott was bombing everything.
Yeah.
Dude, he was locked in.
Jake Elliott was absolutely crazy.
Yeah. He had 3 times to kick a field goal. 3 times he had to kick a field goal where he had to go back 5 yards.
And the coaching was
nailed it
great.
Every time.
The coaching was great.
Yep.
And
No
Vic Fangio had that unit running crazy. Nick Sirianni, I liked what he was doing there.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
you've also been a little bit skeptical of Nick with his decision making. How do you feel about him now?
I was so anti-Nick at the beginning of this year. I don't know how much you guys remember that. I was so anti-Nick.
We both were.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of discourse around that after the first 4 weeks. Like we had it between ourselves, but just in general too. And just man,
life lesson: if you're going through a rough patch, just shave your head. It'll fix it.
I don't know. He's earned a lot of trust. I mean, a Super Bowl does that. Yeah. Not as much as Jalen, but still a lot of trust. Like absolutely love what he was able to do.
Did we go 13 or 14-1 after Baldiani?
It was
10-1 in the regular season.
14-1. 14-1. And it was when Jalen got hurt.
Yeah. With Jalen and Nick.
Yeah.
We
undefeated.
That's crazy, dude. This is Jose commented this before, but this is also very cool because this was also the case with the Eagles Super Bowl team in 2017. Bunch of Christian guys on the team, and it's just it's very cool to see that they have their priorities straight. Audience of one term. I think Carson Wentz, that was like his branding. Like he had that logo.
Jalen Hurts, thank God.
Yep. Sirianni also.
Yeah, and Sirianni mentioned Jesus as well.
AJ Brown, I think, has a Bible as one of the books. I know Inner Excellence is like the one, but I think he's also had that on the sideline. Like it's it's very, very cool that both of the Eagles Super Bowl teams have been able to incorporate their faith into it. All the pregame stuff before the Super Bowl too. There's a bunch of clips of those. Like Sports Spectrum does a great job. They interviewed a bunch of people. And just a lot of good clips if you go to Sports Spectrum of guys talking about Jesus. So there's another reason this team's
cool
great.
Team, cool atmosphere.
Yeah, dude, what a season.
Yeah, this team, you could just tell that they loved like playing with each other.
Yep.
And
they had fun.
They were not going to be denied. I mean, you could tell just the way that they were playing. It was like, oh my goodness, like.
Back mid-season, people thought this team was going to fall apart because they thought there was beef in the locker room. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There were multiple times that people thought. Yeah.
There was times when even this game, AJ Brown and Nick Sirianni, you're like,
I think that's just the emotions of a high intensity.
That's just who AJ Brown is. He's an intense guy. Like.
He's a winner. He wants to do it.
He wants to win. Nick Sirianni also wants to win. They're fiery guys. Yeah. Like, they just get after it.
That's what happens when you play such high intensity games with high intensity people. Like emotions. That's all it is.
Emotions. Yeah.
Luke's gonna be in a commercial for the new movie about emotions. What's it called? How to Kill Your Dragon 2 or something. No.
How to Kill Your Dragon.
No, I meant the one with the
Inside Out.
Inside Out 2. Yes, that's what I was talking about.
Inside Out.
How to Kill Your Dragon is so funny.
I meant Inside Out, the emotion movie.
Yeah.
So I cannot. I mean, are you guys gonna be able to go to sleep tonight?
No.
I'm gonna have to.
You need to, dude. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, you have a long drive.
You're skipping your 9 a.m.
I'm gonna skip my morning classes, so I'll leave at like 7:30.
Okay. That's
I need to get sleep because I got a long drive.
But oh man,
it's gonna be hard to sleep, but I'm gonna need it.
Guys, we did it.
Yes.
Oh, and the fans. I mean, we're a part of this as fans. Obviously, we're not on the field.
Yeah.
But without us, they wouldn't be playing because they wouldn't be making money.
Yep.
Right.
As a business, they would fail.
Yeah. So if there was no fans, they literally wouldn't have the funds to pay the players, and the players wouldn't play.
Yep.
So
I think a lot of Philly players.
Good job, guys.
Like the fans are a big part of it.
The motivation too.
We're absolutely massive. Like I cannot believe how crazy. And it was just they blew them out.
It wasn't even
They weren't favored, guys.
It was 40-6.
They were 1.5 point underdog. They were 1.5 point underdogs.
Yeah.
And
Good night, Jose.
And they won. Like,
yeah.
And I mean, you saw like they panned over the sideline multiple times. And like the one guy on the defense next to Karlaftis was just crying.
Dude, Chris Jones after the second pick, just like falling on his face.
And then Mahomes was like he looked shaken the whole game.
It was like a fight where we came out and landed like 8 punches.
Yeah,
and the Chiefs were just like,
I don't think Mahomes was expecting that. I don't think any of the Chiefs were expecting that.
It was like a KO after the second quarter. Like, it was like, what is going on? And you're a little bit concerned because you're like, man, they still have Andy Reid. But then they come out the third quarter and do the same exact thing.
Yep. Never let off the gas.
No. Never. And then they gave up, obviously, a couple of garbage time touchdowns, but the game was over at that time.
Yeah,
we weren't concerned.
No.
Yeah.
No. And so, like, that was just complete domination. Couldn't have gone any better, I thought. You know, like, I mean, 40 points in a Super Bowl is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's so many points. The over-under for the Eagles was 23.5, guys. They almost doubled that.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
Nobody predicted that.
They probably could have doubled it if they didn't put Kenny in.
They would have.
Honestly.
Yeah, honestly, they would have.
I was a little upset that they didn't let Jalen come back in to take the knee. But
yeah, I would have liked that too.
It's whatever.
I was with you on
that. He would have gone under on his pass yards though. So maybe that's why they didn't want him to do it.
They wanted to keep his stats.
I don't think Jalen cared about it.
I'm just kidding. I don't think he cared about the knee either because he already won.
Yeah. Keep the main thing. Just winning.
That's what he cares about. He says it every post game. He's like, I don't care how we do it. I just want to win. And so at that point they had already won. And he was like, I'm good to go. So.
Yeah. And the other thing to make it extra special, to make it about us, the extra special thing is just like we had our doubts in the bye week. But for the most part, we saw this coming and we just, believed and were confident in the Eagles. And that's just, extra cool to just see it through the whole way. You didn't pick them to win the Super Bowl at the beginning, but you had them in the Super Bowl, which was still way better than anybody thought.
Yes.
We had them winning the Super Bowl, like just to have that belief from the start. We don't have to talk about that part. To have that belief from the start to the finish and be like, we saw this potential and it happened. Because we've seen with the Phillies, we've seen great teams with great potential not see it through. And like, we know what could have been. And with the Eagles, we saw it and it actually happened.
It legit happened. They just won the Super Bowl. This is the second one. Guys, they're climbing up. They're climbing up on the rankings.
Yeah.
Cowboys, be scared, man. Pittsburgh Steelers fans, be scared. Be scared.
We're coming.
We're coming for you.
Yeah.
We're coming for
we
you.
only have 2. It might take a little while to get to 5 or 6, but you never know. And we're so lucky that the Eagles didn't win a single Super Bowl until 2017. We're old enough. We remember both of the Eagles Super Bowls vividly, and like we appreciate both of them.
Okay, hear me out. What if we, continue to grow old,
I hope so.
We get to be 90, right? We're going to be some of the last
I thought I was dying at 90.
Well,
get to 90.
Okay. And we're going to be some of the last people alive that remember the first Eagles Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're not allowed to get dementia. We have to remember it.
Yes. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Say it's the year 3000 and we're still... Or wait.
That's not.
No, 2100 and we're still alive.
Yeah.
We're going to be some of the last people to remember the first Eagles Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, what if they have 12 Super Bowls at that point?
Yeah.
We're gonna be some of the only people alive to remember that first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the NFL's still going.
Remember that Brandon Graham strip sack?
They're gonna be like, Brandon Graham, all I do is eat graham crackers.
It's if they even eat at that point.
That's true. What if we just get robotically fed?
I think we need to stay not on this.
The future is too
confusing. We're live. We don't need to go down a rabbit hole right now.
we just got to enjoy this.
Yeah.
And then we can, speaking of enjoying this, will the Eagles be back to the Super Bowl next season?
Yes.
Probably, but right now, let's just enjoy this.
We won't make our...
Let's think about this Super Bowl.
We won't make our too early next season picks yet.
Yeah.
But I'm picking the Eagles to win the Super Bowl.
Okay, there you go. We just bought our Eagles Super Bowl.
Yeah, we already put it in our order.
Luke pre-ordered his for next year.
Yeah.
While he was on the website.
Yes, he did.
Because you can definitely do that.
Yeah, totally.
Guys, It's time for me to get an Eagles jersey too.
Yeah, dude, we need to make that happen.
Yeah.
It's time for me to get
We
that.
need to make that happen. Who should comment whose jersey should Parker get?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of good candidates
so
right
many.
now.
There's a lot
And
of good candidates.
I have so many that I want. I want this whole team.
I want one for every player on the team.
Like seriously, I'm not lying. Like,
And you feel safe getting any of them because they're a Super Bowl champion.
they're Super Bowl
like
champion.
that locks in getting a jersey.
Exactly.
So, and also shout out to, help me out with this, Jake Elliott, Brandon Graham, Lane Johnson, and
Are you naming on guys who are
is
on the
there
first team
somebody
too?
else who's won 2 Super Bowls with the Eagles? I feel like I saw that there were 4. I think earlier today I saw that there were 4. So
Their
apologies to whoever. Lovato. I think that might be the
Is he
4th.
the fourth one.
Lovato,
Could be. That
Lane,
makes the most sense.
Brandon, and Jake.
And rip Jason Kelsey.
Dude, I'm so sad Jason couldn't have gone out like this. If he had stayed
Jason.
one more year. It was good for the long-term benefit of the team because Cam Jurgens gets to move into the center role.
Yeah.
You don't add Mekhi Becton if Kelsey's still here.
Yeah.
So, like, it's good for the future. But it
But-
sucks for Jason that his
Yeah.
last game was that game against Tampa instead of this game.
But hey,
So
it doesn't. I'm so happy right now that I don't really care.
Same
and
with-
I'm sure
same
Jason
with-
is so
Same
happy.
with Fletch.
Yeah. Fletch's dude,
But
Jason
again-
and Fletch's last game was that
But
atrocity.
But again,
But-
I mean, it also, it let Jalen Carter break out of his shell.
Yep. Yeah. It set up our offensive line for the future. It set up our defensive line for the future.
Yeah.
Like it transitioned.
It was the right moves. It
Well,
just wasn't the ones we wanted.
The pain of that led to this.
Yeah.
Can you
Yes.
believe? I mean, this young team just won the Super Bowl. Like,
And there's so
Easily.
much. They've got so much gas left in them.
Yeah.
they do. They really do. And they're gonna be able to keep almost everybody. I think if they re-sign Zach Bond, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I
Offensive line is locked in.
Yeah. Defense,
Darius Slay is leaving,
but
unfortunately.
I don't think.
I don't know if
What
we
about
have
CJ?
Isaiah.
What
I don't know
about
if we
CJ?
CJ's here for another 2 years.
Okay.
I don't know if we have Isaiah Rodgers.
How long is
on a
Josh
longer
Sweat
deal.
signed for?
Josh Sweat also, I think, might be a free agent.
Okay.
Oh man, Sweat was so
Um,
good. He was so good in the Super Bowl, man.
Yeah.
I want
Williams'
everybody.
deal might be almost up.
Can we get everybody back, Howie?
Yeah.
Give us
Yeah, just
everybody.
run it back.
I trust Howie
Just run
so
it back.
much.
Please.
I'm gonna let him make the
Like,
moves.
Slay, just re-sign here, man. Just re-sign here. Take a little bit less money.
Yeah.
If we
don't know
let
why Slay
somebody,
wouldn't stay.
okay, theoretical. I don't want to get into too much of this. We got to wrap this up here soon.
But
if we were to let say Slay walk, Josh Sweat walk, but we get like a guy Miles Garrett, like Miles
that would
Garrett.
be insane.
Are you guys like
if
okay
they trade
with
for
that?
Miles Garrett? Am I okay
Garrett's
with
a
getting
game
Miles
record.
Garrett?
Miles
Yeah.
Garrett and Jalen Carter? Are you kidding me?
That'd be
That would
unfair.
Just make
You'd
our
have to give
defense
up
so much better.
Multiple first round picks, probably, which is a little scary.
Yeah.
But to get Miles Garrett, I think I would be very interested in that.
Yeah.
And if Howie does it, then I'm like, all right, I'm with you, Howie. I
I
trust
feel
you.
like if Howie does it, he's gonna do it in a way that like fleeces the Browns.
Yeah, that'd be so fun.
That would be awesome. But
Miles Garrett on this team would be.
we
nice.
got plenty of time to talk about the
Yeah,
next
we got all
year.
off season.
We don't need to talk
Let's
about
just
that right now.
celebrate today,
Yep.
guys. This was amazing.
Yep.
We both agree. We all agree it's one of our top 3 best days ever.
Yeah.
Yep.
1,000 subscribers. Eagles win the Super Bowl. What a time to
What
be
a weekend,
all
man.
Philly all the time.
What a time to be all Philly.
Oh, what a time.
Yeah. So share this with somebody, a fellow Eagles fan,
And tell them to
to
subscribe
celebrate
as
with
well.
them. Yep. So we will have an episode. We'll probably do another Super Bowl, like post Super Bowl episode in a week or two, just to like really like
Let it sink in.
fully recap
Really
this,
dive into the game.
react to our preseason stuff.
Yeah.
Basically just brag about how smart we look in those. And there's gonna be more content.
Absolutely.
So it's not gonna go anywhere just because the Eagles season is over. So yeah, thank you guys for being on this ride with us. What a season it was. What a year it's been. And 1,000 subscribers is just the cherry on top. So
Let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go.
it could not have been better. So thank you guys. It's been awesome. We gotta head out. It's late. We need to make sure Luke gets to school safely. Go Birds on 3.
Oh.
1, 2, 3.
Go Birds! Super Bowl camp! Let's go!